Hello, my name is David, and thank you for coming to this video about one of my dreams. When I was growing up, I had a bunch of dreams. I haven't really dreamed too much lately, but I've always talked about getting some videos about some of my dreams, and so this is one of the ones that I had when I was growing up, about kindergarten, first grade, and a recurring dream that I remember, and it's weird, and I guess it explains or you shouldn't be surprised for me having a dream like this. But without further ado, this is the lily pads. All right, there are three scenes. The first scene is the lily pads, and it's me and my family, my mom, dad, and two brothers, and we go into the woods and we go to this pond area. And in the pond, you have it's a small pond. It's a pond, not a lake, but you have the like a little opening archway, entranceway, and I would go through the little entranceway. I'm sorry, you had a little thing above it, like that said the lily pads or something along those lines. And then you have, and my mom and dad and I and my brothers, we got on the lily pads and jumped from one lily pad to another. We did that for a while. I turn a little bit over to my left, and I see behind me that my mom and dad and brothers were out there, drying off or whatnot. But I stay with the lily pads, and I jump from lily pad to lily pad, and then I look a little bit to my left after a little while, and I notice that they're gone. So I go after them. I'm, wanting to find my family now. I'm on a quest. But anyway, so now scene two happens, and I go up to my house at the time, and I see in the front yard Mike Tyson and Robin Gibbons playing the Nintendo game Stinger in my front yard in midair. Well, they're not in midair, but the game is. There's no TV. So I'm like, what in the world? And so he and Robin are playing, and Mike Tyson he puts his arm around Robin, and then hands me the remote control for me to play with him. And so I start playing, and after a little while, I notice that Mike has left. And so this is a recurring dream, so it doesn't happen the same way every single time. I remember seeing that I would go through the front door, and sometimes I'd go around the back. But there is no door in the back, but for some reason I'd go that way. But anyway, then you would have the third scene. In the third scene, it changes up a little differently every time. The first time, it would be, they're all in the attic, but the first time I'd come to the attic, and let me tell you what the attic looked like. It was a wooden kind of attic, I guess, and you had like a window to your right, kind of a rounded, not opening, but a rounded stained glass type window, and it let a little bit of light in, but it was kind of dark, and it was a loft. You have a loft that you would walk out onto, and then if you stepped over the loft, you would kind of fall a little bit. It had a little bit of a fall to it, and there was a little chimney there. And so the first time the dream happened, I walked through the door, and I would see a Buddhist monk praying to the chimney, look at me, and then dive on in. The second time I had the dream, I would open the door, and he would not be there, but I remembered that he was supposed to be there. And the third time that I've had this dream, and I've probably had it more than 3 times, but one of the times, I was the Buddhist monk. I would see someone open the door, and then I would jump in the chimney. I'm kindergarten, first grade. That makes sense. So, just recently, after talking to my wife, my brother-in-law, and his girlfriend, we've come to realize that I just really enjoyed Nintendo. And so you can see the lily pads. Don't quite know what Nintendo game that was, but I know that the Stinger was a game. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, of course. And the Buddhist monk, don't know where the Buddhist monk came from, but jumping into chimneys is kind of like Super Mario Brothers jumping in through pipes. So that's what we think. That it was just a fascination with that. I don't know, but I just wanted to let you know one of my dreams. But I've got a few more, so one day I'll try to upload some more, maybe tonight. Thanks.